You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
These days, it feels like ESPN and Disney can literally get nothing right. And the one thing we know about ESPN is, for whatever reason, they believe that so many people in this country are still ate up with the National Basketball Association, the NBA. Folks, the NBA, a league that has had a massive drop-off in ratings over the last 5 years. You know, a once great league that had, 25 million people tuning in for finals now gets 7 million. And the weekly games, forget about it. Sometimes they don't draw 1 million viewers, depending on what network they're on. So last night, ESPN was showing a massive high school football game. You might be like, really? That's a thing? Yeah. People will watch high school football on television. And look, living here in the South, high school football is massive. It's huge. You've got high schools that build 50,000 seat stadiums here. And they're state of the art. There's a lot of money spent, and the coaches, they're paid really well. And on a Friday night, forget about it. Everybody is at a high school football game in Texas, in Louisiana, in Georgia, Mississippi, Alabama, in Florida, all over the place. All over the place. And so much of your big-time talent comes out of these high schools, right? That goes on to Division I schools. And look no further than this game. The number 2 overall recruit in all of college football and the top recruit for the University of Georgia Bulldogs, the current number 1 team in the country, in fact, was playing last night, and ESPN left the game. ESPN turned the game off and switched the broadcast over to NBA Preseason. Are you kidding? Not regular season, not games that count. NBA regular season, and they got their butts destroyed over this, including J.J. Watt, a future NFL Hall of Famer that took a shot at him for doing this. And a lot of people said the same thing. Why even show the game? What was the point? 2 of the top high school football teams in Georgia and the United States squared off on Friday when Mill Creek hosted Buford. The game had a thrilling finish, which fans didn't get to see, by the way, with Buford down by 7 points. Dylan Ranola, Buford's Georgia-bound quarterback, tried to lead his team to a game-tying or even game-winning score. But while the game was broadcast on ESPN2, the finish was not. I mean, this is so typical ESPN. We can't get out of our own way. Not only that, you're literally having sex with LeBron James, it seems like. You're ate up with this league that you don't realize so many people don't care about, and they wonder why ESPN ratings have fell off a cliff. This is why. My God, it's nuts how much this network believes people are still locked into the National Basketball Association. The football game ran a little longer than expected, so the game was nearing its end. Viewers were told to switch over to the ESPN app to watch the conclusion as ESPN2 switched over to the start of a preseason game between the NBA's Golden State Warriors and Los Angeles Lakers.
Well, hey, if you're going to watch the rest of this game, you got to go to the ESPN app. We're going to get you out to NBA Preseason on ESPN2. After this play, go to the app if you want the finish for this game. Maybe we'll get fireworks before that. Here's Raiola on the move, throwing deep downfield, and
It's absolutely crazy. Go to the ESPN app. Literally, you couldn't start the NBA game on ESPNU or ESPN News. Normally, you will see them start a game maybe on another one of their own networks that people actually get. And instead, they said, nah, go check it out on the app. Wow. J.J. Watt, needs someone to update me on what happened at the end of Buford versus Mill Creek. Cutting away from the game coverage with 20 seconds left on a game-winning drive for a preseason basketball game is wild. Anyone in Georgia got an update for me? Question mark? That got nearly 3,000 likes on it. ESPN cutting off Buford for an NBA preseason on the final drive was brutal. Why even air the game if you're going to do this? Great question. Great question. Buford driving for a potential game-winning tying touchdown against Mill Creek, and ESPN cuts the game for preseason NBA basketball. Fire everyone. It's crazy. Dying seconds of a huge Georgia high school football game on ESPN2 as number one prospect and UGA commit Dylan Ranola drives Buford trailing by 7 down the field versus Mill Creek, and they cut away to a beginning of a preseason NBA game. Egregiously awful. It is unbelievable. The ESPN and the NBA have a partnership that is quite lucrative for both. Even if it's only a preseason game, LeBron James and Steph Curry are going to generate a lot of interest. That said, once the decision is made to broadcast a game, that should be an obligation to show it through its inclusion. Does anybody remember Heidi? I'm 47. Heidi was actually before my time. But of course, one of the broadcast networks, very famously back in the 60s, I believe it was the 60s, cut away from an NFL finish to show a movie or TV show called Heidi. And it's lived in infamy, in sports infamy, forever. Every year, somebody brings up the Heidi game. If the game was a blowout or Mill Creek got a turnover and was in victory formation, there'd be more understanding. But getting your audience invested for more than 2 hours, then not showing its end doesn't make a lot of sense. It's crazy. It's crazy that ESPN did this to their viewers. They are so ate up with the NBA, and they're so scared. Disney is so scared they are going to lose the NBA. I mean, it's one of their biggest problems with their studio shows because they get ate up and they want to talk about nothing but LeBron and the Lakers. And it makes you want to eat a bullet. This is why so much of their programming is hot garbage now. You want to talk about ESPN not caring about their viewers? There you go. Watch this football game for 2.5 hours. Oh, almost had it. Almost got to the ending. Oh, nope. Nope, you can't have it. You can't see it. Sons of bitches. Wow. My goodness. Tell me what you think, black and white sports supporters. ESPN sucks. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.